Hello, my name is Julia, and in this video, this instructional video, I will be teaching you how to play the card game Gin Rummy. There are a lot of variations on this card game, but I will be teaching the version I grew up playing with my family. This card game was created in the early 1900s, and it's played a lot today. What you will need to play this game is a standard deck of cards, 52 cards, and and I have my mom here to help demonstrate how to play. You'll need a standard deck of cards, 52 cards, a piece of paper, and something to write with, something to keep score with, and something to, because you have to keep score. And then this game could be played with 2 to 4 people, so you can't play by yourself and you can't play with more than 4 people, because then it just gets too crazy. So for the purpose of this video, I will be showing you already dealt hands. So we each have a already dealt hand. Each person who's playing gets 10 cards in their hand. So the way the game works is that the object of the game is to get the highest score, and scoring goes, if you want a short game, it can go to 250, and if you want a longer game, it can go until 500. The way you can score is with a run, which it has to be the same suit. So for example, you can have a 9-10 jack, which would be a run, and they're all the same suit. So that is a 3 cards that you can put down when it's your turn. But something you can't put down is something like this, would be 9-10 jack, but they don't all have the same suit, so you can't do that. Something else you can do is do a 3 of a kind, which, if you can see, they're all the same cards. So she can put that down. It's not your turn yet, so you can put it down. So the way the game works is that you deal the 10 cards. You deal the 10 cards to the people you're playing with, and then you start. So you put the remaining cards in the middle of everyone, and you flip over a card. Wait. Okay. You put the cards in the middle, and you flip over a card. Now, for the sake of teaching, we've already started to play a game. So we already have our throwaway pile, which is right next to the deck of cards, and we already put down some cards that are 3 of a kinds. We both have put down cards. So when it's your turn to go, so you go in a clockwise manner around the table, and the way to signal that you are starting your turn is you draw a card, or you pick up a card from the throwaway pile. Now, you can only put down scoring cards, meaning you can only put down 3 of a kind or runs when it is your turn. So after you have picked up a card or draw a card from the remaining cards. So I'm going to draw a card now, and I don't have anything to put, oh wait, yes I do. Oh wait, no I don't. I don't have anything to put down, and so to signal that my turn is over, I'm going to discard a card. So once you discard a card, your turn is over. You can't put down any cards to score anymore. Then your turn goes on to the next person. So Gin Rummy is a little bit different than Gin, because in Gin Rummy, you can pick up the pile, which is where you can pick up all or a section of the throwaway pile. And to remind you, the throwaway pile is the pile of cards that are discarded during a turn that is next to the deck of cards. So for this, my mother is going to show you what she could do to pick up the pile, and then she's going to pick up the pile.
I'm going to pick up part.
She's going to pick up part of the pile.
But then you have to pay the last card that you pick up. So I'm going to pick up to the 4 here. So I'm going to pick up a 4 and a 3. If I can do it. I'm going to lay this down with this 5 that I have in my hand. So I have 3, 4, 5. And then I also, in my hand, I'm gonna lay down these 3 awesome aces. And then I am going to discard this 10.
So now her turn is over, and it's my turn. So then we just keep playing until one of us goes out. And so the way to go out is you lay down all of the cards that you can play. You have 1 card left, and then you discard the last card that you have, and you don't have any more cards left. So you play until you don't have any more cards left in your hand, and you've played them all in 3 of a kinds or runs. To reiterate, you cannot play pairs. Pairs don't count. It does have to be a 3 of a kind. And for it to be a run, they all have to be the same suit, and you can play 3 or more. So it's my turn now, and I'm going to signal that I am starting my turn by drawing. So now I have this card in my hand, and I can play. So another thing you can do is play off the other person's. So my mom had just put down the 3, 4, 5. So I have a 2 of diamonds that goes with this, and so I'm going to play it on my side. Now it's important to keep the sides clear on who's played what, because at the end you're going to keep score. You're going to count up your cards that you have put down. Yes.
You have to discard.
Oh, I do have to discard. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Discarding a card. So now we are going to play a couple hands just so you can get the flow of it, but it will be sped up, so it's her turn. So as you can see, my mother has 2 cards left in her hand. I have all of these left, so that's sad. She has 2 cards left in her hand. So what she's going to do is put down her final card, play her final card, can you do it closer? Which is a jack. I have 3 jacks over here, so she will be playing off of my jack on her side, and then she will be discarding her final card. And she's out. Now I will be going over scoring. So now we're going to score, and the way you score is pretty easy. So everything 7 and below is worth 5 points. So there's a 7. So she's going to be that's worth 5 points. Everything 8 and above, so face cards, 9s, are worth 10 points. Now aces are pretty cool. So when they are in a run and they are high, so for example, queen, king, ace, they are worth 15 points. When they're all together, 3 or 4 of a kind, they are 15 points. But if your run is ace, 2, 3, they are worth 5 points. So in this case, my mother would get a whopping 60 points for just that. 60 points.
That's right.
I can do math.
I can't.
So then the loser, me, whatever you have left in your hand, you have to subtract from the cards you put down. So for example, I have worth 40 points right now because I have 2 cards that are worth 5 and 3 that are worth 10. So altogether, that's 40 points. I said that right? Yep, 40 points. So what I will do is I will count up the rest of my cards, and then I will subtract 40 points, and that is the total that I get for that round. So after doing the math of how many cards we had left over and counting them all up, my mom won that round with 115 points, and I had 100 points. So she's the winner of that round, but you continue playing rounds until, you can go on for however long you want, but usually if you want to play a short game, you play until 250. If you want a longer game, you play until 500. And that is how you play Gin Rummy. Have fun. I hope you enjoyed our little instructional video. Keep playing cards and doing fun things.